This is this is a live class. We want you to go ahead and ask questions in the chat, right? Juan, you're going to monitor the chat for
Yep.
any questions. Please, feel free. We'll have some stopping points for this. So, I'll go fairly quickly, but throw them in the chat. We'll have some stopping points. I want to answer some questions for consumers. This is the best product out there to gain instant equity. For our real estate partners, this is the best product ever to get your clients into a home quickly. They know where they want to move. We just need to make that home, their home. So, and we'll show you how we can do that. So, so it's a challenging market out there, right? So, as a home buyer, do you feel like, we call this buyer fatigue, depressed because you can't find the perfect home. I've always said the perfect home won't be there unless you built it brand new, so new construction. You're going to walk in, and you're going to love everything about the home, but bought this, bought that, and we can help solve that problem. I promise you that. So we already talked about this. Exhausted from looking at homes that don't fit your needs. I always feel that real estate is local. You know where you want to move. We can work with pretty much any home. There's some cool stuff we can do. So again, you're tired of waiting for that perfect home in the neighborhood to show up on the market. It might happen in a year. It might never happen. So you got to jump on the opportunities that exist, and we could show you how to make that home exactly what you want. Are you anxious? Well, here's another one for consumers. So couple things, one, family size has grown, right? You can move and find a place in a different area that is bigger than the place you're in. You need more bedrooms, right? You have a 2 or 3 bedroom, you need a 4 or 5 bedroom. Well, we could show you how to modify a home to make it into that bigger house. Extra bedrooms, we can go out, we can go up. We're actually going to show you examples of that. So you can renovate the home. We already talked about it. Renovate the home that you already live in. So we're gonna talk renovation step by step here. You could definitely benefit from a renovation loan. You could save time by looking at fewer homes out there. You already know the area, the town you're gonna live in. You might be targeting a school district. You might be looking to move closer to family. As long as you know the area, you can view less homes, and we can help you fix that home up. So the neat thing here is something that a lot of folks don't know what they can do with this program. This product is as good as a cash offer. Everything's going to be as is, so you're not asking for repairs. You're going to be able to purchase super dated homes. You're going to be able to purchase distressed properties, foreclosures, estate sales. I mean, this is a huge market. You can put in an offer on any property out there. Auctions, cash only, the as is, needs work, TLC, all the buzzwords. Not a problem. We're going to include everything into that loan. Here's a cool thing about this product. Where no other mortgage product offers. We truly believe you can gain instant equity. If you renovate the home, you buy the lowest price home in the neighborhood, you do a nice renovation. Instead of you buying a recently renovated home that you're going to be paying that top dollar, that flipper out there is going to gain the profit. You can gain that instant equity. So you don't have to be, the cool thing is you don't have to be an investor to do this. You're going to have a contractor do all the work. So it's not as difficult as everyone thinks it is. So again, we're going to go back to what this is all about for the buyer. This is the opportunity to create the home of your dreams. You get to pick the finishes. So I love this program. You can buy, and I'm not saying that you know, some of these homes I've seen that have been fully renovated, they're absolutely beautiful. They're no doubt the general contractor has done a beautiful job. But you know what? They picked the finishes, they picked the backsplash, they picked the tile, they picked the flooring. You get to do all that, you know, with this program. So pretty neat product. You can, you know, do that HGTV stuff that you see on all these programs. You get to be part of it. So let's talk about some of the mistakes, you know, settling for the home, you know, you don't like because you think you don't have another choice, right? You know, you're in a time crunch, the lease is up, the family size grew, you know, there's a new addition to the family, you have to move. This program will help you. You don't have to settle for, you know, a home you don't like. You can buy that home, we can fix it. So, um, so again, we're talking about the equity in the home. You know, if you bought a home at market value, which there potentially is nothing, you know, wrong with that, you can go out and buy a perfectly move-in ready home. And but you're going to need to pay market. So for my real estate agent partners that are on this call, you know, there's highly competitive market. You're going to potentially bid above asking price. This is a way that you can purchase a home and you can gain that instant equity, that appreciation. Okay. So we say the riches are in the niches. This is a niche product. So again, we talked about the DIY shows, you know, we all watch them. I watch them. Juan watches them. We say we call it HGTV gone wild, right? You can, you know, you see all these shows and the house is pretty beat up, and by the end of that 30-minute program, you're like, holy cow, this property is amazing. And this is it in real life. Okay. So you can do updates that modernize the home, right? A lot of homes are perfectly livable, but you know they need to get up to modern times. Foreclosures, they're and we think foreclosures are going to increase going forward here pretty shortly. That need repairs to sell faster. So for you agents, you know, you can offer this program. You can offer this program out there on a listing as well, right? Um, so additions, we're going to show you some pretty neat stuff, right? You can add on to a home, you can go out, you can even do what they call a roof tear off with this program. Anything you can imagine is possible. Structural repairs. You know, sometimes you can pick up a pretty great home that might need some stuff that structural repairs. You can include that all in here. This one here, I do like, you know, modifications for disability. You know, as folks age, they might need some stuff that some customization to the home. We certainly could fit all that stuff right into this loan. So it's a great feature of this. So they can either move into a new property and fix it up to accommodate their needs. I actually personally did one of these where they needed the special bathtubs, the lowered light fixtures, all that stuff. So it's pretty neat to be part of that, but this is all possible. So here's a couple, you know, a few pictures. You know, pictures are worth, you know, 1,000 words. Some before and afters. I mean, the neat thing, you know, the house on the top left here, you can see, you know, exterior. You could change the entire look of a home, which is pretty cool within this loan. You could take old, outdated kitchen. While it might be functional, you want to get it up to today's standard. You could change just some simple cosmetic stuff like this old, what would they call this one here? Brady Bunch style River Rock wall into some modern stuff. So it's very,
They
very
call that my
functional.
house.
or Juan's home right there. So you can do quite a bit with this program. So talked about you can purchase or refinance a home and build in all the repairs and renovation. The one thing I do want to let people know that a lot of people don't know, this is one loan. So it's not you purchase the home and then we give you this other loan for this. It's all built in right in the beginning. So super easy. No need to worry about two separate loans, two separate approvals. You get approved for one loan, and the qualifications are all the same as if you were purchasing an as-is home, so a move-in ready home. So that's a super neat feature. There's no additional qualifications to get pre-approved on this. So I want to spend a minute on this, that, so the interesting fact is credit cards, and I think it's even higher than this now. It's at least 25% on a credit card. So we know for a fact that when a homeowner purchases a home that is not new construction, the first thing they're going to do in the first month they're in the home, they're going to they're excited, they're going to run out to Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, whatever your favorite big box renovation store is, and they're going to open some credit cards up, and they are going to spend some money to do some flooring, some minor stuff. Why put that into a credit card when you could just put it all into one loan, where it's going to be even better than what the numbers are showing here in the 7-something% range, and you have one payment? Okay. So it makes sense to build all those renovations in right up front. Okay. So here's a little example. If you do $50,000, you put on a credit card, that's going to cost $12,000, which is crazy. People don't do the math. Over $12,000 in interest versus $3,800 in interest. So quite the savings. You can live comfortably if you can do it at the $300 something a month versus $1,000 a month. Huge in affordability. So here are some options available for renovation with our loan or without our loan product. So FHA 203k limited, that would be the product. The cool thing is now it's up to $75,000. You can build that in to the loan. Super easy one to do. We pay out half the money at closing and half the money when the repairs are completed. So that is the limited product. On the standard product, so for the standard product, we can go all the way up to the FHA loan limits, which are over $500,000 now on a single family home. So with that, we can do those big projects like a roof tear off. We can do $100,000 cosmetic rehab. You want to do the basement, redo the whole kitchen, all the bathrooms, all that would fit in to something that is over $75,000 and has, might need structural work. We also have the conventional product, so which goes up to those higher loan limits, like in the $800,000 range on a single family home, even higher for multifamily. We also have just recently a VA renovation loan. We love this product. 0 down payment. Okay, so for our veterans, we love it. 0 down payment. The only limitations here are it has to be cosmetic, and we can only build in $50,000 of renovation in it. But it's a wonderful program to maybe do some of those modifications that they might need, especially if the veteran has some disability issues. We love to help out and do those modifications. So if you don't do our loan products here listed, you can go in and you can buy this home, and you can do the do-it-yourself stuff. And we all know how that goes. That could take years to get projects done. I know if I would have known about this when I bought my home, I would have thrown it all in there and been done, instead of working, over a few years to redo the home. So that, while that's an option, we don't recommend it. It's going to take you potentially a lot of time and a lot of effort on your own, which you don't need to waste. So the other way, there are some nonprofit grants out there in the low to moderate income housing. Some communities are offering some stuff, so we just want to let you know that some of that stuff's available. The other last program, there's some contractors out there that offer some short-term financing that are doing the work for you. So they're a general contractor. So that money is potentially available. We personally feel our programs are the best fit. So this is from one of our renovation contractors, right? That happen to love 203k and Homestyle financing. And look, the kitchen on the left, while I guarantee you that kitchen is functional, there's the water works and appliances, but we're looking at modernization, the flooring, the appliances, the cabinetry, and you can see this is the same exact kitchen. So they were able to rework that, even lighting up top, can lighting, anything you could dream of, you can do in this loan. So I love this example of simply modernizing the home. So, mistake number 2, right? Is there's a lot of questions about, not knowing what can be financed into this program. And for me, if you ask Pete, he would say, you can pretty much do anything in this program. And there's just a lot of misinformation out there. Like, I'm limited to what I can do. And that is not true, folks. So I think we touched a little bit about on this earlier when we talked about the limited versus standard. Limited is mainly you can do pretty much anything you want. Updating, you could even add appliances. You could do mold work, so you could remediate that. You do painting, any repairs, replacement. The standard one, definitely you'd need to use that one for any structural, foundation, or addition to the home. So let's talk about what is allowed on the limited, right? So we can do a 1 unit up to 524,000, 4 unit, which is pretty interesting, over $1 million on this. I already mentioned that you could do $75,000 of work, and it's just split up into 2 payments. We could do 1 to 4 unit properties. I love the idea of a first-time home buyer getting into a multifamily and renovating all those units and getting maximum rents, right? So, so the home really in this one, the limited, it's going to be a home that has to be habitable. Let's face it, if that home is totally like not livable, you're going to probably need more than $75,000 of fix-up cost. We'll talk a little bit more about HUD consultants in this one. It's simply a contractor bid that you need that's detailed out between labor and material. We don't need what's called a HUD consultant, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. We say it's used for smaller projects, but you can redo a whole kitchen with this and baths as long as you can fit it in that $75,000 threshold. So if you need to redo the whole home, this one's kind of cool. You can go all the way up to the entire FHA loan limit. So let me give you an idea of how that would work. You can buy a home for $200,000 and put $300,000 of repairs into that home. There is a $5,000 minimum repair budget in the standard one, up to 4 units again. Oh, the neat feature I didn't talk about on the limited is we can go up to 110% of the appraised value of the property. So you can over improve the property. If it's a property, obviously you're going to live in, that is not an issue, so you can over improve it to your liking. The home does not have to be habitable. So this is a great program. Let's say you find a property in the neighborhood you want to move into, and it had some type of damage, water damage, mold, and the place is completely now not habitable. There's no more walls, there's no kitchen, everything has been removed, there's no power on, you're going to redo all electrical. Not a problem. We can do that loan, and you can build that home basically brand new. A HUD consultant is required. So we'll talk about we'll talk about that in a little bit later in what they do and why you need them. So used for the larger projects, right? Structural, foundation, and additions. So let's talk a little bit about the VA rehab loan, right? It's so you can only do non-structural. So we talked about cosmetic because it has that $50,000 limit on the repair budget. Okay. We can do up to the after repaired VA appraisal. Okay. Up to the VA loan limits, which are super high. So not a problem there. Up to 4-unit building. So cool feature as a VA, as a vet, you can purchase a 4-unit building and renovate that. $50,000 might be tough to renovate a 4-unit, but you can do slight, very minor updates to it. Okay. So we talked again about maximum budget of $50,000. Now there is a little restriction on the contractor side. The VA wants them to have this builder ID number. The contractors do know what this is, where the other products, the FHA and the Homestyle, there is no real certification, I guess I'd call it. Okay. Now, in addition to our rehabilitation loan, there are some VA grant options out there to help veterans out. We've listed them here on the screen for you, or for veterans. So let's talk about the Fannie Mae. So this is the conventional loan. Obviously, higher loan amounts. What we could do with these. So we can do owner occupied. Here's what's interesting on this one. We can do a second home on this. So think about a vacation home. I don't know where everyone is on the call. Juan and I happen to be in sunny, cold Illinois. A lot of folks are moving down to some warmer states. There are some lots of properties in Florida that have been damaged. This product can be used to fix up a vacation home. So very, very neat feature. We can do an investor program. So somebody that wants to buy a home to rent it out. It is sort of limited. We only allow for single family home on that, and typically 20% down. So the way we're able to do this loan, any of these loans, the FHA, the VA, and the conventional one, is we are basing the value on the after repair value, right? We're going to take into account all the work that's being done, and the appraiser is going to do an appraisal based on as if those improvements have already been done. And so that's the value we use. They're gonna get the appropriate comparables on a brand newly renovated home, or if the square footage was added, whatever the case is, right? So we already talked about a HUD consultant will be required if there's over $75,000 in repairs, right? We could use it for all kinds of stuff, updates, appliances, new kitchen, new bath, even outdoor spaces. And we're going to show you some pretty neat pictures, I think, here of some outdoor stuff. So again, here's one of our contractors that, the kitchen on the left was kind of, a little dysfunctional, and, I don't see, the tile, they might have kept the same flooring here. It was kind of, just dull and outdated, and they modernized it here in the picture you see. So simple kitchen remodel, but I'm sure this family was super happy with how that turned out. So mistake number 3, right? Not doing a renovation loan because it seems complicated. And I could tell you this, it is not, the loan part is not any more difficult than a regular loan. And what happens is this, it's simply other people telling you that it can't be done because they may not specialize in this product. They don't have, they may not offer the product. So not every lender offers this program. So their go-to comment is, because they want to keep the loan with that client, is they say, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this because it's too hard. They never close, all that stuff. Folks, I would not be doing this. We would not be doing this presentation. We close renovation loans every single month. Okay, so we know how to do it. It's not any more complicated. It's just, not every lender offers it. It is a niche product. We do it. We do it very well. So don't let somebody else tell you that's not possible. So how does, basically, how does it work, right? So again, this is going to mirror, most of it's going to mirror exactly how a regular home purchase works, right? We need to start at the beginning with, the initial steps and a loan inquiry. You need to get pre-approved, right? So we pre-approve you for a dollar amount, right? A total, or actually a payment amount, right? So a total payment amount. So as long as what you're looking for fits in that combination of purchase price plus renovation, we don't care what that combo is. So 200,000 plus 100,000 renovation, 250 plus 50,000 renovation. We don't mind. It's okay. As long as that total payment fits in. So same as you use that pre-approval to find a home, same with this one. This will just allow for renovations. Okay. So whether the home needs minor renovation or major renovation, we don't care. You don't even have to tell us. We're good either way, whatever you find that you want to bid on. Okay. So once, let's say you're successful in the offer, right? And what you want to do, what's important here is that we know the scope of the project, right? And the borrower, the buyer, decides on the project and what they want to do. We don't, there's a lot of misinformation there on that as well. We don't tell the consumer, the buyer, the borrower, what they should do to the house. Now, there are a couple things in FHA. There are some things that you have to do. You have to have a working heat source, right? If there's electric, the panels, if there's wires sticking out of the panel, wires sticking out of the ceiling, you have to do some of those things. But the overall project, the nice thing is it's all controlled by the borrower. So contractors, let's just talk a little bit about contract, because here's another area where there's a lot of bad information. The borrower, who is the client, decides who the contractor should be, right? We don't, there's, if you talk to some lenders, they'll say, or whoever out there, they'll say, well, we need to go with the contractor that the lender chose. We don't do that. The borrower finds the contractor. We suggest that they find contractor that they know, like, and trust, and has some financial stability, just so they can keep the project moving. But the borrower controls all that. So if it is a larger product, since borrowers don't know what a HUD consultant is or where to find one, we go ahead and connect them with a HUD consultant. They're all licensed by the government, so they all work the same way. So it's not a big deal. We connect them with the consultant. So the HUD consultant, and we'll talk a little bit about what they do on the front end. So the HUD consultant will complete a scope of work project list. So it's a very detailed report that breaks down the project into 35 different categories that will break down the project between labor and material. So very important, any bid that we get has to be broken down into labor and material so that there's no misunderstanding. Once we have that, if it requires a HUD consultant, we have this report. It's called the Specification of Repair Report, or SOR. We can order the appraisal because that details what the appraiser needs to complete the appraisal. If it's a project that's $75,000 or less, we don't need this step. We just need the contractor's detailed bid so we can, again, order that appraisal. Okay. And we talked about the appraiser will give us this as completed value, or which call subject to value. The loan, again, then once we get the appraisal, all the other stuff is the same exact as a regular loan. The loan is approved. We get to closing. All those monies that are for the renovation do not go out to the borrower or the contractor. In the first product, the limited, we will disperse half the monies up front and then half when it's finished. If it's the bigger project, we do hold on to that, and they're dispersed on a as completed basis. And that's the second piece that the HUD consultant, part of their job. They will go out, they will evaluate what the percentage of completion is, and they will fill out the necessary paperwork for the contractor to get paid. So it's very important that the homeowner is protected, their money's protected, so that that entire project can be completed. That's a check and balance. So again, here's one. We taught exterior, right? The home, they don't look the same at all, but you can do a complete exterior and interior remodel, not a problem with this loan. I think I mentioned this before. How do you qualify for the renovation loan? Easy. The same way you qualify for a regular conventional loan or a regular FHA loan, right? No difference at all. We already talked about it's one loan. So that's the beautiful part about this this loan. It's just one. We don't have two separate loans. No confusion there. The down payment is based on the total amount. So we call it the acquisition amount. So if you have 200,000 plus 100,000 in renovation, 300,000 would be the acquisition price. You can put 3.5% on the FHA loan, or conventional 5%. There's actually a conventional loan with 3% down too, if you meet certain income qualifications. So we have that as well. Okay, folks, so I have said a lot here in a little bit of time, and I would like to, I guess, Juan, let me know what potential questions are out there so we can address those now and before we get to the end.
Peter, you ready for
Yes,
some
sir.
questions? So getting some questions here privately. Can I use this loan on a property in really bad condition?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we touched a little bit about on it earlier here that you can buy a property that if you walk in and it's completely not habitable. So there's no kitchen, there's no baths, there might be down to the studs, to the there might not even be any drywall, there might not be any heat source, no electric, none of that. We can use this program for that. So this is a perfect product for foreclosed properties. I've done them. It works out great for the homeowner. They get a brand new home that they've made their own. So it's like kind of like getting new construction without going to buy new construction, and you get that instant equity. So 100%, yes, we can do it.
Okay. Question in the chat from Jarrett. Unfamiliar with HUD consultants. What exactly do they do?
Yeah, so they serve two purposes in this loan program, right? The first part is that they evaluate the scope of work. They will prepare that report called the specification of repair report, where they break down the project into 35 different categories. So it might be, exterior, interiors, carpentry, plumbing, electrical. This scope of work report needs to be sent to the appraisal management company so they know exactly what's being done to the property to be able to determine the end comparable value. The second piece that they serve, once the loan closes, there's monies that are held in an escrow department, right? So this company might be in California, right? The property is in Illinois. Well, there needs to be some disbursements that happen. In order for that to happen, somebody needs to physically inspect the percentage of work that's completed. So that HUD consultant remains with the project until it's completed. They come out, there's standard paperwork they fill out. They come out and say, well, 15% of the job has been done. Here it is. If it was a $100,000 job, we're good with dispersing $15,000 to the contractor. So it's a protection for the borrower and us as the lender, to make sure that these funds are dispersed in a manner that the project will be complete and there's enough funds to complete it.
Next question is, can I add on to the home?
Yeah, for sure. And I think we're going to have at least one example here. I love these. I love the additions. We happen to be in the Chicagoland area. There's lots of bungalow type homes. They have limited space on that let's say first floor, they might have a little bit of a dormer area on top. You can tear off that roof and just put a whole new addition onto it. Certain areas, if you have enough room in the back, you can rip out that back wall and build out. So very, very common. I've personally done, oh, not me, my clients in the last, let's say 3 or 4 years, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of these that are, I mean, mind-blowing stuff that they've done. The up and out, it is so neat, so powerful. So yeah, we can definitely do the additions.
Okay, and we have two questions that are coming in somewhat similar. I'll ask them both and then we'll combine them, Pete. So Latanya asks, is it difficult for contractors to agree to the terms of this program? And that's similar to, I heard that it's difficult to close this type of deal and that the contractors have to be approved by the government. Is that true?
Okay, so I'm going to answer the last part first. This is where a lot of folks think that these contractors have to be approved by the government. There's no approval department. It doesn't exist. So there is no FHA or HUD approving contractors. There's no department for that. What happens is this: we have a renovation concierge desk or department. We don't necessarily approve the contract. The borrower needs to approve that contractor. They want to work with that contractor. We check a few things. One, they have to be, if the municipality, township requires licensing, they must be licensed. We must have liability insurance. That is a non-starter. We will not do a deal if it's not a contractor that has liability insurance, right? We look to check 3 references. Nobody has ever failed that test. If they provide the references, nobody's failed that one. So liability, if it requires licenses, they have to have it, right? Let's speak to is it difficult to get contractors on board to do this program? Sometimes. What I would tell you is this: there are some positives to this. The money is guaranteed. We've lent the money. It's sitting there. So there will never be an issue with the contractor having to chase that client down. Hey, you owe me this money. The contractor should, review and make sure they're putting their bid in front of the client. As long as they're comfortable with their bid that they have presented, they will get paid all their money. Now, this loan product has what's called a contingency reserve. So typically it's 10%. There's some other ones that could be higher if it's a bigger project, 15%. But that's kind of the fudge factor of, well, contractor, you gave us this bid and you gave us these allowances, and now there was something else that needed to be fixed. They can access that 10% with a change order and get paid on that. So we do believe that a contractor should be somewhat financially stable. You as a client will not run into any problems if you have a contractor that is stable. We do a lot of these. Again, we close these every month. You want to steer away from the contractors that are going from job to job and need this job to fund that job. So if they're financially stable, no problem, smooth sailing.
Next question, can I use this loan to fix any inspection issues or
Oh,
appraisal issues that may come up?
yeah, that's a great question. I
We
love
got
that
some
one.
smart people in this group,
Some
Pete.
smart people in this. I absolutely love that. And here's the reality of what happens. Again, we talked about, if you're not buying new construction, there's something in the home you're not going to like, or something isn't quite right, or something needs to be fixed. 100%. It's not even like a 99%. It's 100%. So when you go out there and you're purchasing a home, we encourage somebody to get a home inspection. they get this home inspection, and I'm not here to knock home inspectors. I'm not a home inspector. They're there to do their job. And if you've ever seen home inspection reports, they are something. They're overwhelming. It could be 75 pages of stuff. And if you looked at it, you're like, oh wow, this house needs everything. Now, that won't be necessarily the case. There's some stuff that is a must fix. The neat thing about this is you like the house. If there's a few inspection issues or in an FHA appraisal that get flagged by the appraiser, simple. We can just, it's the a heating source, right? Those aren't cheap these days, right? You need to replace entire HVAC system, and the inspector says, "Wow, I mean, you're gonna move in a month. You're getting into the winter time. We live in Chicago; it's pretty cold. This furnace isn't gonna make it, you know." So we can include all those inspection issues and or appraisal issues right into this loan. So don't let the house of your dreams, fall by the wayside just because of some minor stuff that this loan could take care of. And you could include some other stuff then in there. Like, well, I might as well, if we need to fix these, let's include some other stuff. I guess to call it the dream list or the wish list. Okay. Does that hopefully answers the question?
Okay, um, so Liz Moore asks if a conventional or 203k limited, if conventional or 203k limited, can the buyer act as a general contractor and do payouts?
I wish. um, you know, it's that is one of the limitations of this product. Now, I will tell you this, in the conventional renovation program, and we've done this several times, the contractor and the borrower can be blood related. So you could have a father, son, daughter, father, team. They can, as long as they're not one and the same, you can have a family member be the general contractor. But for us, it's pretty much a hard stop no, that the borrower contractor cannot be one and the same, because it's just they got to do their regular work, and we're looking for this job to be done. Well, there's tons of people that are qualified to do the work. That is sort of the one limitation in this product, but the conventional allows for lots of flexibility. Hey, my brother, cousin, whoever family member can act as the general contractor, and they can figure out, between us, they can figure out the work, that needs to be done and how it's paid out. So I have personally helped folks through this same issue, but no for one and the same.
So Pete, next question is, what do I have to pay up front for this loan?
So everything that you would on a regular loan, which is an appraisal fee. And then the only other difference in this loan is if it requires a HUD consultant, that will be the only other upfront fee. And that HUD consultant fee can be financed into the loan. So if it goes to a closing and successful, you can borrow that money back into the loan, basically. So that's it. That's the only difference.
When do the repairs have to be completed?
So they, after the closing, obviously the seller's not going to wait around. It closes like a normal loan. The requirement is that work must start within 30 days after the closing. We want this project to get completed because there's we're based on the after completed value, so it can't sit around forever. Typically, most jobs need to be completed within 12 months of the closing.
Okay. And then we've got how does the contractor get paid for material and work?
So we do have an allowance. We talked about the first. So the first loan, or the limited, I should say, we talked a little bit about the contractor would get half the money to start the job. Once it's done, get half the money. on the full-blown renovation where, let's say it's $200,000, we do allow for material draw up front. So let's say they need $20,000 in material to get started. We will do a material draw strictly for material, and then they'll get paid out on a draw basis, and they call out for the draw. So if they feel they're ready, who are we to say they're ready for a draw? Call out the HUD consultant.
Okay. And then this final question comes from Liz, a little bit more realtor oriented, realtor specific. What can you provide that I can use in my marketing a home requiring modest improvements, paint, carpet, maybe bath?
So I would we have, at least us here at Neighborhood Loans, yeah, renovation loans at Neighborhood Loans, we have a pretty neat flyer or brochure, I guess I call it, for open houses, that we actually do a simulated after pictures. So you'd have, if you take as an agent, you take the before pictures, and typically I say take kitchen, bath, and living space, right? And then we put what it can be: kitchen, bath, living space, and you can use that. You can use that to market the home, because a lot of times, Liz, I feel like sellers are like, well, I don't have the money to spend to fix this up. Well, you can put that in a listing. You say renovation ready, renovation financing available. But this nice brochure, if you do open houses, is a pretty neat tool. I can show you that offline. I could send you ones that I've done actually for a couple people in your office, I believe, as well. They're pretty neat. They're powerful if you put them in the house. I think if you give potential buyers an idea of what something could look like, that might encourage them to put in an offer right away. Because most people are coming in like they're thinking in their head, going, oh, I love this place, but I'm gonna need like $30,000 for this kitchen, and I just can't do it. Well, yes, you can. So I think the marketing material, the pictures, are worth a lot to show somebody what they can actually do. We also provide, we have recordings of webinars like this to educate, folks in how they can do this product, but I can show you the marketing material on that.
And again, Pete, you mentioned something is, maybe $30,000. When you break that down into payments, well, that's only $180 extra a month to be able to have a new kitchen in your dream home. So,
Right.
break it down into payments, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it all comes down to payments. You could do all this, build it right in. You're like, well, can I afford another $300 a month to have all these items, taken care of? Of course, that we always suggest to do it that way for sure. Break it
Well,
down to the
I
payment.
I can't drive by Home Depot and cost me less than $1,000. So,
Right.
it would have been
Right. No,
cheaper for me to do it into the house.
the Home
So we
Depot's
have another question coming
yeah.
in from Jamie, and I like Jamie's thinking. Sounds to me like I've got a future investor built into Jamie here, and the question is: must the owner occupy the unit for a designated time?
Yeah, I mean, typically the rule of thumb is 12 months. So we love this product. I mean, you can get somebody in a multifamily, 2, 3, or 4 unit, and fix that thing up, live in there 12 months, move out and go to the home of their dreams, or do another renovation loan on another property they're gonna live in. So typically the rule of thumb is 12 months. But yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a real smart group here tonight. I'm out of questions,
All
so
right.
Pete,
Well, let's go.
keep
Yeah,
going.
I
Take it
wanna
away.
get through the material we have,
So I would like to mention, guys, the biggest thing here is every situation is different. I did put into the chat a link for you to schedule a one-on-one appointment with Pete, your personal renovation expert. All you have to do is click on the link, pick a day, pick a time. There's no cost, there's no obligation. And anybody who takes advantage of that appointment will actually earn themselves a $500 closing cost credit, lender credit, when you finance with our team. So not only do we want to help you, but we're committed to your success, and we're going to throw in $500 to help you out.
Awesome. So again, renovation financing is for anything, not just large rehabs. You know, we talked already about inspection issue, appraisal issues. Here's the picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Outdated kitchen to more modern kitchen, bath. The one on the right is very interesting. They simply just wanted to do some windows, some trim, and flooring. That house is the same. So, or that room is the same. So you could do very small cleanup stuff. Anything, pretty much everything and anything is allowed. In this, we talked structural alteration, additions. You could actually build a garage with this product. I actually did one of those. City property, need a garage, built a garage, kitchen, baths, landscaping, roofing, plumbing, anything you can think of. So here's one from our contractor. Look, the house, it's the same house, obviously. It has the same address. This is not, AI generated. This is a real deal, reno. They cleaned it up. The outside needed, it was old and, kind of beat up. And they did a nice job of just doing a cleanup on the exterior. So think about it. The house on the right looks great. The one on the left looks like it needs a lot of work, but the same client could do this. It's not that big of a deal. This is minor stuff, what you see right here, but they did it nicely. Here, we talked about the exterior stuff, right? They did a little bit of stuff here. They did some window stuff I could see. And then mainly, that exterior rock and landscape and, the pavers just to clean the property up. So simple stuff like that. This could all be included. Here's from one of our preferred, one of the contractors that we do some stuff with. Just redoing a kitchen, changing it around. It's just this minor upgrade. I think we already went through our questions, so we'll blow by this and get towards the end. So the contractor, we talked a little bit about my opinion of what should happen, but here it is. They should ask for referrals, look at credentials, interview them, check some references, ask family, friends, real estate agents for referrals on this, because you want a competent contractor. Okay. We already talked about this: license, if applicable, liability insurance, references, and make sure that they're a little bit financially stable. Okay. So here's the HUD consultant. Somebody had asked the questions: what do you got to pay up front, if anything? The HUD consultant, there is a out-of-pocket fee that could be financed into the loan. And here it is. It's really set by the government, this fee structure. So here's a bath, right? They changed up the whole entire style of the of the bathroom, the bathtub. They went to one of those they took out that tub and just did one of those modern, glass showers. So you can, simple bath update. We already talked about this, so I won't spend a lot of time. They meet at the property, they'll do that report, and then they will help facilitate the draws. Okay, so folks, here's the one I think I mentioned a couple times. This one was my client many years ago. She needed to add space to the property. That is the same house. That is the same house. I did this loan, my client, so I know. Did a great job. The contractor was fantastic. So basically, they ended up redoing the whole outside. They didn't tear down that house. They worked with the bones were fine. They did a roof tear off. This is in the city near the I forgot the area one. This one was
Garfield Ridge?
Yeah, could have been
Mount Greenwood.
Yeah, there you go. The Mount Greenwood area. Right. So that's it. This was the Mount Greenwood area, but I did it many years ago. This is the power. This is powerful. This is what a client can do. So they can live in the area that they want and just build up.
So they, if I remember that deal, Pete, it was a young couple who bought the house originally. They loved the neighborhood, they loved the area, and then they loved the 5 kids that they had afterwards. So
Right,
they needed
right.
more room.
Right. You got to put them up through the ceiling into the next floor. So that's what happened. So here's one, guys, that was like, look, needed some cleanup. I don't even know what kind of carpeting that is or was on the left, but they modernized. There isn't. I'm sure these walls and electric here was just fine on the one on the left, but just clean it up nicely. They use the renovation loan to do stuff like that. Again, here's another perfect example. This program is awesome for stuff like this because you as a potential buyer walk in on the one on the left. Well, you can make it work and do some of the flooring, the kitchen, but you're like, wow, look at my kitchen now. Same. This was not a difficult upgrade here because they didn't have to tear down walls. They just did cabinets, countertops, backsplash, appliances, all put in there, right? So here's one that I love this one that they did the modern, that modern country kitchen thing on the right versus the one that looks like some wild animals had run through the house and had a field day. So it looks like, one of those where a bear broke in and was hungry, so was looking for some food, but not a problem at all.
Like your teenage son.
Yeah, or a teenage son
The baseball
with
team.
the baseball team with their friends. This is what happens on the left, and we fix it to the right. But don't let the condition of the property scare you. It can all be fixed. Here's one, obviously, while a functional bath on the left is probably not the most aesthetically pleasing one, and then they did a super nice job of just, making it into a modern bath and super, super simple remodel that was included into the deal. Here's one again, exterior space. Nope. Exterior space, just cleaning up the same deck. They did a nice job here of making that back, real clean and fixed up and make it pop. So last mistake, skipping a property. Oh, this one's pretty cool because you need related living. This is fairly new stuff, guys and girls. You can add an accessory dwelling unit to the home. So you need more space. This one's more like I'd say, you need that in-law arrangement, something. I'm working with a client in California right now that has a disabled brother that we are going to add a like 2-bedroom home into the yard. It's very, very popular in the coastal. California is super expensive. So doesn't make any sense to go buy a bigger house. You can add on to the home, right attached to the house, or you can actually put something in the middle of the yard. So this is fairly new stuff that's super cool that a client can add one of these accessory dwelling units for for some related living stuff. So let's recap a little bit about what we talked about, right? You don't need to settle for the home that doesn't fit your needs. Don't worry, we'll help you fix it. Everything can be financed with this renovation loan. Renovation loans aren't as complicated as everyone makes them out to be. Larger, small projects, I think I showed you some of that. Related living, we just talked about that. So, obviously the biggest mistakes, if, you've been out there and looking at homes, the market is limited right now, inventory wise. So, don't continue to look over and over and over for the perfect home. Just create your perfect home. This is the program for it. Okay. So do you feel confident now in being able to purchase a home? You should after this, right? I've talked a long time here. If you don't see that I'm passionate about this, I promise that I can get you into the property you want and make it the home of your dreams. Okay. Juan already talked about booking an appointment. I would love to spend a one-on-one time You know, I specialize in this, so I can guide you to the finish line, right? So there's the appointment link that Juan has put in the chat. And that's it. And this is who I am. I think I had less gray hairs in that picture, but I'm one and the same. My personal cell phone number, I only give folks my cell phone number. I believe if you're going to do this business, folks should be able to get a hold of you. So no secret there on how to get a hold of me. That's all I had. Juan, I truly appreciate everybody jumping on and spending their time with me here. I hope we showed some value, and we can give folks some recordings of a renovation video we've recorded some of these. So if you need to refer back, but personally, I think if this is something of interest and you have lots more detailed questions, do the appointment and I will personally walk you through everything.
Yeah, awesome.
What do you think, Juan?
Great job. Lots of great information. Lots of great questions from our guests this evening. I appreciate everybody's time in joining us. We truly do want to help you guys achieve your goals. Renovation loans are some of the most, to me, some of the most exciting opportunities. Truly helps create wealth through real estate. Untap that hidden equity in your home. I would, I love the idea of buy the cheapest house in the best neighborhood, fix it up, and really make some money with that. But again, if you have any questions, best way to get those answered is schedule a one-on-one appointment. There's no cost, there's no obligation. Just truly, we want to serve the community. The other thing is, if you know of anybody else who you think could benefit from this type of loan, we definitely appreciate the referrals, as well as anybody else who you think might be looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. We want to be your go-to team. And truly, we've been doing this for a long time. Pete and I have been in this business over 30 years, believe it or not. You look at Pete, you can believe it. You look at me, not so much. But yeah, we've been in this game for 30 years, so we're here to help you guys. We thank you, each and every one of you, for your time this evening. And if you would like a recording of tonight's meeting, in our communications, we've sent you some text messages and emails. Just simply reply to one of those texts or emails requesting the recording, and we will get this out to you guys right away. And again, thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Evening.